Guys, I'd like to welcome each and every one of us to my channel of Honest Sciences and Mathematics TV channel. So in this particular discussion, we're going to look at the concept of summation notation. But before we proceed, I'd like to kindly request our members to subscribe and also engage us in the comment section so that we can be having a discussion on various topics that we're going to do in mathematics and sciences. So in this case, the concept of summation notation is going to be heavily expressed in various topics on the concept of statistics, and this is going to give us a summary or a simplified way of trying to interpret and represent data in various forms. Now, we had listed in our first video the number of observations which we had given in terms of numerical values. Now, in this case, we are going to use a general term so that it gives us a convenient way of representing data generally in a summed form or in a brief form, which is going to be more convenient in that particular case. So suppose we have a number of observations given in terms of x1, x2, x3, x4 in that particular order. We can give this range of observations into a number of n times given as x n given as such. So in this case, each of this one is going to represent perhaps an observation or a measurement, and these are going to be appearing in forms of x1, x2, x3. So generally, we can give a specific observation given in terms of perhaps I, given as xi, which is going to represent what we refer to as ith observation, which is a general representation of a particular observation of this or eight of these elements given as such. So therefore, for us to find what we refer to as a summation of a number of observations, we can give them in terms of x, which we have given as. So therefore, for us to find the sum, which is basically our point of interest, we're going to have this number of observations given in terms of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4, and this is going to go on up to the value of x plus n given as such, and that is going to give us an algebraic representation of the sum of these specific of course observations. And this of course from specific definition of the concept of statistics, which we said is an aggregate of or an aggregate of what we had referred to numerical facts, or perhaps a collection of numerical facts. So in this case, if these are going to be an aggregate, then therefore it can be presented in terms of a sum, which is going to be given as x plus x2 up to x power n, which is going to form our last set of that specific observation. So this is given in terms, so we can generally give this one in terms of this specific case which are given, whereby we are going to have this one given as x I, and of course we're going to give this specific sign using this specific sign which represents a summation. So if the initial observation is going to be, or initial set is going to start from 0, we're going to see that I is equivalent to 1 to a particular. So this is going to be I is equivalent to 1 to value of I is equivalent to n, and this is going to be I from this, or the sum of x specific notation, and this is going to represent x2 plus x3 plus x4, and of course to that specific value of x n given as such. And this is going to represent a summation notation, which is going to be a representative of this specific set of observation which we have given on the board. Now in this case, we're going to see that in some cases we're going to come across a representation which is going to be lacking this specific value, perhaps being given in terms of the summation of x given as such. And of course, in case we have this range of values, which is going to be, of course, a sequence of summations, then we can be able to compute this one by including these specific values starting from the first one to the last one given as such. So this basically is going to entail the summation notation, which we are going to come across heavily in various discussions on the various concepts of statistics as we go ahead. So in this case, I assume that we have understood these specific representations for this range of values between this starting point and the last one, and one of the ways in which we can give it in a specific or a general term using that specific summation notation given as such. So of course this is going to be of relevance for us, and then some of our discussions which you have said, of course we're going to heavily encounter this specific notation, which is a summation notation, as we go ahead. So that is it for now. Kindly check our description boxes for various links, and also subscribe to our channel so that you can be getting updates on various discussions in math and sciences. So that is it for now, guys. Bye. God bless you. Catch us in our next video.